All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody is doing well. Hey, we got some action on the news this morning, so we will take a look at things fundamentally, and then we will dive into the charts. So, as always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. All right. Real quick before I do anything, can you just drop me one in the chat if you can hear me okay? Maybe not. There we go. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So let's slide over to trading economics and see what news we got this morning. So first things first, UK inflation rate slows to a 15-month low. Annual inflation rate in the UK dropped 7.9% in June, the lowest level since March 2022, slightly below expectations of 8.2%, mainly due to a slump in fuel prices. Also, the core rate, which removes volatile items, food and gas, eased to 6.9% from May's 31-year high of 7.1. So things slowed down a little bit, right? Things slowed down a little bit in the UK. One second. Okay. Then you got Eurozone inflation. Consumer price inflation rate in the Euro area was confirmed at 5.5% in June, the lowest level since January 2022, mainly due to the decline in energy prices. However, the core rate, which excludes volatile items such as food and energy, picked up 5.5%, right? So most central banks, they look at this core number, right? And it's 5.5%, so it ticked up a bit. Above a preliminary estimate of 5.4, remaining close to the recent peak of 5.7, and supporting the view of the ECB policymakers are likely to continue raising rates in the upcoming months. Energy prices tumbled 5.6%, while prices rose at a softer pace of both food, alcohol and tobacco, and non-energy industrial goods. On the other hand, services inflation picked up to 5.4% from 5%. On a monthly basis, consumer prices advanced 0.3% in June, right? So some mixed data, but things are supporting the ECB stance on continuing to raise rates. All right, continuing to raise rates. So that's what happened in the UK and the ECB and in the Euro area this morning. You also have Brent crude steady at $80 a barrel. Sterling pound dipped $1.30, but remained close to 15-month high at 1.314. Reached on July 14th after data indicated a reduction in inflationary pressure in the UK, suggesting that the Bank of England might not have to raise rates as high as initially expected. The inflation rate eased to 7.9%. Those are pieces we just read. However, the reading aligned with Bank of England's projections made in May, right? So things are in line with what the Bank of England is thinking. So they still may increase rates. They just may not go that 50 basis points that could have been on the table. Furthermore, the core rate dropped 6.9%. Additionally, producer prices also have declined more than anticipated. Elsewhere, investors have recently shifted away from the dollar due to signs of cooling inflation in the U.S. which has raised expectation that the Federal Reserve, their aggressive policy tightening may be approaching an end. All right. So that's where we sit on those. Right. So potentially shifting a little bit on the pound, staying firm on the euro and the bullish action there. Coming over to the calendar. Okay. Excuse me, over to the calendar, right? You see the numbers here, 7.9, 6.9. Producer price input and output there. Then we have the euro inflation here, right? 5.5%, and that 5.5% on the core above the expectation there. Later on today, we have housing starts and building permits for the dollar. And tonight, employment change and unemployment rate for the Aussie. Okay. So these are going to be important numbers for coming out of Australia that we want to keep our eyes on and see what happens there to see if things start to tick up a bit on the unemployment rate for the Aussie. So that's it from a fundamental perspective. Are there any questions fundamentally? Nope. All right. Cool deal. So let's hop over to. Oh, yep. Marshall, you got a question?
Yes, I do. I'm trying to make sure I understand fundamentally with this change, and I got on late, so I apologize if I missed something over in Great Britain. Mm-hmm. So did they change, and it's going to make the GBP stronger? No. Am I understanding correctly? It makes it weaker?
Yep. So with inflation, right? If inflation is cooling, that means they may not have to increase the interest rates as high or be as aggressive in the tightening process, right? And if they don't have to be as aggressive in the tightening process or the increasing of interest rates, then that gives investors a sense of ease, and they can be a little bit more aggressive with their money in the stock market, right? So if investors are going to be more aggressive in the stock market, that will then decrease the strength of the currency and increase the strength of the stock market. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yep. So, and then conversely, right, if that CPI number was high, then Bank of England would have to increase rates, which would make things tighter for investors, and they won't want to, or more, I'll change my words, make things more expensive for investors, right? If interest rates are increasing, and if things are more expensive for investors, they're not going to be as risky with their money, right? And so in this scenario, things are, in theory, future looking, could be cheaper for investors because interest rates may not be as high in the future. So if it's cheaper, they'll be more aggressive.
Understood.
Got it? Good question.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for asking. All right. Any other questions? No. All right. Let's take a quick peek at the dollar, and then I want to look at the euros and the pounds, right? So we looked at it yesterday, right? And got the bounce. Didn't fully get back to that support level, but started to push to the upside, coming into this previous support level here, right? 12,737. We'll see what happens when we get there, see if it's just a retest and then a continuation short, or if we break that level and continue rising higher, right? But that pullback on the dollar is in play as we anticipated, right? Here's that daily look that we looked at. Okay, we just ran those smaller waves to the downside here to track. But just look at it surely from a support and resistance perspective, right? This was the level that we broke. We had another level here that we broke, right? So our range is like this, right? We broke out of that range to the downside, and we're coming back to retest those levels. Okay, coming back to retest those levels, and we'll watch to see what happens when we get there, right? Do we break through those and continue higher? And does the dollar continue moving to the upside, or do we get there as a retest and then push back down to the downside, right? So that's what we'll be watching in these retracement plays on the dollar pairs. Okay, so that's the DXY. Again, watching that zone. Okay, so over to the euros. I know we looked at the Euro Aussie and the Euro CAD yesterday. We'll take a quick peek at those, but I want to spend some time on the rest of them, as some are moving in the direction that we anticipated. But this Euro Aussie, we've been waiting on the break of this daily level, right? Been waiting on the break of this daily level, and we're getting it now, right? Strong bullish push on that news. And then ultimately we'll look for a retest of that level and then a continuation to the upside, right? And as we break these levels, we'll get closer to that D extension. So we'll watch that as we continue to move forward, okay? Coming down to the 4, right? See that crown pattern a little bit better here, right? And we're headed long. The extension is here at 167.907. Okay, so took a while, a lot of bouncing around. We started at that level, but we finally got our break. And this is where we'll look for that pullback and retest of the level. Boom. And then we'll look for that continuation to the upside. Like so. All right. So coming down to our 1. All right, this is where we sit on the 1. Approaching the matching D extension here, 166.025 on the 1 hour fib, right? And we'll get swing high to form at some point after that, and then we'll look for that pullback to happen. Okay, so we're right there approaching that D extension, and this is where on the lower time frames we'll be able to see that retracement come back and retest previous resistance that we broke. And we'll look at a new fib to form. And then we'll have an opportunity to play from there. Okay. So that's what we're looking for here on the 1 hour, is this D extension to be achieved first, and then that new fib to form. Okay. So pushing long, that 1 hour fib is almost complete. Okay. So beautiful thing, beautiful move. And we'll continue to ride this to the D extension, man. All right, 371 pips so far, with more to go, right? That 4 hour fib is further up. So we're rocking, and that's off the low. My entry was there, so I'm up 240 pips on that move. All right, so that's where we sit there. Let me do this. Lock that in. Boom. All right. So that's the Euro Aussie. Questions on that? No. All right. Continue managing the trade there, right? Move the stop loss and the profit, protection on the profit, but we're looking for that to continue to ride long. Okay. Euro CAD, we also peeked at yesterday. Trying to pull back a bit. All right. We pushed into that range, retested this previous support level, right? And we're pulling back, retesting some previous resistance here. So we'll see if we get another push to the upside. Okay. We'll watch closely. But here on the 4, we're right in that 118, 127 zone. So potentially we could get a pullback first. We'll see how that goes, but we could potentially get a pullback first and then get that continuation, right? So give us a low price to get long. And that depends on what the CAD continues to do. But this news today could potentially either keep this in a range or give us the push that we need to get to the D extension here on the 1 and get to these higher levels that I'm looking for price to get to then monitor things and see if we get a reversal out from there. Okay. So we'll watch this to see if that retracement comes first, or if we bounce off of this 4-hour support and get that push to the upside there. Okay. Also, I believe we're sitting at a trend line there as well. Let's see. Let's see. One more here. Let's off the low there. Just shy of the trend line, right? Just shy of the trend line. So this may be another one. Like when we look at that euro yen, maybe another one where we get a bounce off the trend line here, and then a continued push to the upside. All right. So we'll watch that closer to see what happens. All right. But that's the euro CAD. I'm looking for another push to the upside. So I'm not playing this retracement right now. So here on the one, we got to that 382 level. Okay. We got to the 382 level there, and that's where we're stalling at. So we'll see if we get that push. All right. So we'll monitor that one. Okay. If you took that play short, cool, great job. It's met your rules. Just watch it and monitor it closely. Like I said, we could get a bounce off that trend line and push to the upside on that. Okay. Questions on the euro CAD? No. All right. Now there's euro Swissy. There's euro Swissy. Weekly time frame. We'll go here first. We got a 382 here, right? And we pushed down. We've been stalling in this 118 and 127 zone. These levels are like this low here that we reached last October is an all-time low, right? All-time low at 94,031. We had a weekly support level here that we're breaking. This candle last week wasn't able to close below. And right now we're pressing down, right? Pressing down. So if we, from a weekly time frame, even from a daily time frame perspective, if we close below these levels, well, look, we got a daily support on the daily time frame. But if we close below these levels, right, we could be looking at price to get to this 94,031, right? The Swissy is picking up some strength. So we'll have to watch that closer to see what happens and how low it pushes. And then see if the Swiss National Bank steps in at some point, right? So we'll watch that part closely, but we're pressing down now. We'll see on the week if we close below that level at 97,740. Coming to the daily time frame, right? We know we already got a 382 push here, okay? We already got that level hit. So now it's a question of what happens here. We got a daily support level. This is a swing low here, right? And we're stalling right now. Okay, stalling right now. So let's see what happens. If we stay above this 96,081, we'll look for a bounce. If we break that level, I'm looking at 94,031 as the next target for a potential reversal from there. Okay. Coming down to the 4. This is where we are on the 4. Okay. So on the 4, you see this double bottom action here, right? We need 2 candles are close to the right to form that support. If we get that, then that could confirm this daily support level and give us a little bit more confidence of a push back to the upside here, right? So that's what I want to see here is a full swing low form. So this 4-hour candle and then one more 4-hour candle closing to give us that swing low, and then we'll look for some longs to the upside. Okay. Coming down to your 1, you see that double bottom a little more clearly here. Okay. And then this is our fib on the 1. Okay. Let me see something here. There we go. That's our fib on the 1. Okay. So double bottom action there at that support level. We pushed up. We're pulling back now. So we'll see if we get that move to the upside there. To track that with a cloud, drop it on like so. And you see we're just bouncing right now through the cloud. Okay. Still bearish ahead. And you see price pulling down. So let's see if we get a twist, that Kumo twist in the cloud, and see if we get a nice break to the upside. Okay. So that's where we're at on this Euro Swissy. Need a nice strong break to the upside with the cloud supporting us as well. Okay. So that's what we're looking for here. Again, if this level holds, we're looking long, and we'll look for those confirmations to get long there. All right. Questions on the Euro Swiss? Nope. All right. It's Euro GBP. I don't know if anybody took this trade. I believe we talked about it last week, 2 weeks ago. But we came into this low. All right. Daily support 85, 188. All right. 786 retracement level. We had one touch here on June 15th. We came right back to it on July 11th. All right. That level held, and we're flying to the upside. Right. So on this one, it's a beautiful move. All right. Beautiful move. If you had a trend line running, you got your trend line break there. Okay. So on this one, when we get down to lower time frames, we'll look at it. But this is opportunity here that we could potentially see this continue riding to the upside and get us to this 95 to 97 level. Now the Euro GBP, it moves kind of funny sometimes. It takes its time doing whatever it's going to do, as it has here, right? And as it did here, and as it did here, right? And then as it did here. So let's see if we get some follow through action. So what I'm looking for here is we broke back above this level, right? This was a daily resistance level. See this candle close, and then I want to see a pullback, and then I'll look for an entry on this one, right? That's what I want to see out of that. But the risk to reward on this is beautiful, right? At 618 retracement level, okay? Stop below the A, and that opportunity is there from a daily time frame perspective, right? And we're getting the breaks that we wanted to see here. So it would look something like this, right? And we'll look at it on the lower time frame to get a cleaner setup. But boom, like that. Okay. Because again, right, bullish on the euro and the slowing down in that CPI data for the pound gave us the catalyst for that push, right? It gave us the catalyst for that push. So that's what we're looking at there. Okay. Interesting, but it's doing the thing. So coming down to the 4, this was the look on the 4. Okay. This is look on the 4. There's that double bottom action there, and then the push, right? Here's the break of that level. So look for a pullback and retest, and for that level to hold, right? We see that a little bit cleaner here, right? Get that pullback, and then we'll look for the push to the upside. Okay. Coming down to the 1. This is where things are interesting here, right? We're overextended. Okay, so we'll look for swing high to form and a new fib to pop in. Okay, don't have it yet, but we get a new fib. Look for the retracement right? And that retracement could come a little bit deeper, okay, which would be fine, right? We'll look for a low price to then get long on this, okay? This is the active fib here on the 1 hour time frame, right? So we're pushed into that 618 retracement zone, but I'm bullish on this one. I'm bullish on the euro here, okay? So I'm looking for pullbacks and continuations long. All right. So that's that. But it's doing what we said we'd be looking for if this was going to continue to the upside. So that's the Euro GBP. Any questions on this one? Yeah, man, it's funny. It's funny for sure. And we'll see if we get some if we get a good low price on it. Cool. No other questions or or sentiment. Cool. Let's see. All right. Benny, good morning, bro.
Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Good, great day.
Man. Yes, definitely a great day. UK inflation slowing down.
Yep. So right in our lap with that pound dollar, eh?
Heck yeah. Right on time.
Yep. I'll take it.
You see anything else fundamentally that caught your eye?
No, not so far. Still got to catch up on a lot of my reading this morning. So nothing yet besides what happened with the UK this morning.
Cool deal. The euro also. Eurozone inflation core was above expectation, and that gave euros a little push.
Good. Yep. So we've been bullish on the euro, so that's cool.
Yep. Right on time.
Yep.
Right on time.
Exactly.
Cool deal. So the euro yen, we are pushing long. We got a daily D extension here, 158, 108, right? That we had our eyes on, trying to see if we can make it there. We also have a monthly D extension just above that at 108, 292, right? So this is going to be a key level that I'm still going to keep my eyes on as we move, right? We're coming back to that level now. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that level to see what happens when we get there. Okay. On a weekly time frame, let's see. Take this one out. This is our fib on the weekly. Okay. We have a swing high. Whoops. We have a swing high here. So this is our new fib. And we got a little bit of a pullback here. Okay. And then we got some indecision. And then we'll see what happens here, if it's a bullish decision candle or not. Right. But this is going to be a fresh AB boundary here. 118, 127 zone is here. And then we got all-time highs. Nope, not all-time highs, but previous resistance level in a zone that we're watching here in this 170, 169 zone, right? Which puts us back at the top of this overall range, right? Puts us back at the top of that. Okay, so that's on the weekly time frame. Coming back to that daily, looking for these extensions to be achieved. Okay, so we're pushing long now. Got a little bit to go to get to that daily and monthly level. Coming down to the 4, this is where we talked about this 80-20 potentially not playing out, but getting to, well, not fully finishing yet. I'll choose those words. But bouncing off that trend line and pushing back up to get to this daily and monthly D extension, right? And that's what we ultimately got. We got that bounce and we're pushing back to the upside here. So when we get here, right, 4 hour 80-20, we'll see what happens if we are able to form a swing high before getting to the D extension, right, to then give us a deeper retracement on this. Okay, so we'll watch that and watch the data as well to see if there's some support in that whenever we get to this 158, 100, 158, 200 zone. All right, but it's pushing to the upside as we expected off that trend line. Okay, the 80-20 is still intact though, so we'll watch to see if this turns into somewhat of a range for a minute, and then we get a catalyst in one direction or the other. Coming down to the one on this 1 hour, right? This was that 200 and the 300 pip move to the downside on that yen cross to get us a TP2, right? Which is also in line with that trend line. Okay, so we got a 786 retracement push here, right? And we're pushing long. So the matching D extension here is 157.507, which is just shy of that daily and monthly level. So what we could see, we're approaching that level now, right? So we likely could see price get there and then push there, right? So we'll get to this 1 hour D extension, then hit this daily and monthly level, and then we'll see if this is a strong enough zone to give us a catalyst to bring us back down, right? So that's still what I'm looking for, right? I do have a long play here on this move to the upside. I didn't take it in this account, I don't believe. No, I didn't take it in this account. But in my other account, I'm long here, 154.064, right? So I got an entry somewhere in this range here, right? Off that 618 retracement, pushing long. So take profit level is here at 157, and then we'll look at these levels for potential retracement coming out of that. Okay. Questions on this euro yen? Questions on what we're looking for? No? Okay. All right. All right. So we'll see if this larger, I got this larger scenario here, right? And this came off the 4 hour. We'll see if that comes into play at these higher zones. Okay. That's the euro yen. Euro NZD. Man, oh man. So daily. We got this double bottom at that 382, and we've been long ever since. Right? Yeah, we got caught in a bit of a range here, but still been pushing to the upside. And the catalyst from the news continue to press it long. So looking forward to get to this level at 180, 829. And then if we break that, we'll continue riding to the upside. The extension is at some high levels there. All right. So we'll watch as price continues to move here. Coming down to the 4. Okay. So I got some sub fibs running here. Let's clean this up so we can look at it and break it down. Maybe. There we go. So here, right, on the 4, we got a 618 retracement here, price pushed, right? And we're looking long. D extension is here at 181. Okay. So this was the move to the upside. If you miss that move, right, then we ran a sub fib off that low because we got this double bottom that formed there, right? Beautiful confirmation. Boom. Price gave us another opportunity right here, right? Started making its way, then gave us a 80-20, boom, 618 retracement, right? And we were looking for that to then get long. And then price did his dance, still doing its dance, right? On the sub fib, extension is here at that weekly level. Okay, but we're pressing long. So whether you got in here or you took this opportunity here off this 174 level, right? Price still is ultimately pushing in our direction. Okay, so still moving to the upside here. And then we got another confirmation of that support level right here. another double bottom scenario and price was right. All right. So it gave us multiple opportunities to take this to the upside. But it's moving in our favor nonetheless. Okay. Moving in our favor nonetheless. Gave us what we're looking for. So we're good there. So coming down to the 1, and this is where we are. Boom. Right. Beautiful pullback, 618 retracement level. Boom. So matching D extension is there, which is in line with that 180.829 level that we're watching, right? So all signs are pointing to the upside here. We're getting the retracements. We're getting little bounces here or there. But price is moving in our favor. So maybe we get another pullback here and then looking for price just continue to the upside. Okay, so this one is running to the upside long. This is another one I'm in my other account on as well, on that move up off these 175 levels. Okay, so that one's pushing to the upside as we expected. Questions on this euro? Is anybody still in this euro NZD?
No.
Nope. All right. Cool deal. Cool deal. Been a fun move. Been a fun one to sit in and track the emotions that go along with this bounce around in these CDD moves sometimes. It's been interesting. Cool. So that's the euro NZD pushing long, just monitor it, waiting for it to get to those levels. Euro dollar. This one is still hovering. All right. Daily time frame. We broke this weekly level. Trying to create a swing high here, right? We got a 618 retracement, so ultimately looking for price to continue long, but looking for a pullback first. Looking for a pullback first to retest is 110.985, 110.312 zone, right? So somewhere in this range. And then looking for that low price to get back long. Okay. So coming to the 4. Here on the 4, we got a fresh AB boundary. Fib running off of the lows here. Okay. So with this fresh AB boundary, that kind of supports the idea or the thought of that retracement coming. Right? Down into this range. Okay. So we'll look for that move down. And then we'll look for it. And we'll see if we get down this low. We may not. But even just a retest of that zone there and that push to the upside. Right. And that'll give us a shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone and a monthly resistance. And we'll hit that daily D extension level, which is just above here. Okay. And give us an opportunity for another 80-20 on the 4 hour. Right. So that's what I'm looking for on this one on the 4 hour, is just a retest of these levels that we broke out of and then a continuation long. So coming down to the 1, coming down to the 1 is where we have that 80-20 opportunity, right? And that puts us in that range of that 110.985, 110.314 level of 314 range. Right. So this is what we posted in the Discord, looking for that retracement to come. It's trying to make its way, but just stalling and moving sideways. So we'll see if we get a catalyst to bring this back down, right? From some of the dollar data that comes out this week. All right. So there it is. It's just hovering right now. Boom. Right, pressing sideways to the cloud, and we're still bullish ahead. All right, yeah. We got a slight shift. Let's see. Yeah, we got a twist of bearish, but we're just pressing sideways. All right, so we'll look for something to give us a catalyst on that move to the downside there. Right. So that is the euro dollar, looking for that retracement. Questions here? Cool. On to the pounds. Now, pound Aussie. Trying to push out of this zone, right? Push into that 118, 127 zone. Broke back below this monthly level. We came back, retested that level, and now we're pressing down. All right. There's an 80-20 on the daily time frame. We'll see if we're able to get there. We got some support levels to break through here. Right. Got a support level here. And there, right? So this is little range of support. I'm going to put this lower. Put that there, right? Take into account both of those. So we'll look for price to come down, and we'll see what happens at this 189,737 level. If we're able to break that, or if we stay above that and push back to the upside. Okay, we got Aussie data coming in tonight, so we'll see what transpires there. Okay, we'll bring this level down. So here on the 4, we already got our retracement, right? 50%, boom, pushing to the upside. The extension is here. So this level is going to be key here. Okay. This daily level is going to be key to tell us if we're going to continue back down to this 185,877, or if we're going to stay above and get a bounce to get to that daily D extension on the 4. I mean, a 4-hour D extension here, right? So we could see price continue pushing to the downside and get to this level and stall. So we'll watch that to see. Okay. Yeah, we'll watch that to see there. Coming down to the 1. There we go. And there's the 80-20 play on the 1, right? Pushed into the zone, come down. And now you see we're just bouncing through the cloud here as well, right? It's bearish now. We broke below, nice bearish candle. So that's an indication that we could go ahead and continue to the downside and make it to that support. Right, so that's where I am on this one. I'm not trading this one right now. I missed the entry off the high. So I'm just watching for price to get down here and see what happens. All right, we might get to this 382 and then flip. So I'm just watching this one closely, looking for a low price here, see if we get an opportunity to get back long. Okay. Questions here? This one's a little interesting. No? Okay. Cool. Pound CAD. Getting retracements. So we on the daily time frame, right? We had this crown pattern, beautiful move, boom, beautiful to the upside. We got there, killed it, and then we got a reversal. Bang. So we had a strong break of this level. Right? This was previous daily resistance. Right? So we're coming back to retest that level, and we'll see what happens when we get there. We're already looking for a pullback and a retracement, right? And we're getting it now. All right? Just happened a little bit later than we were looking for, but it's coming. Okay? So we'll see. We got a 382 push. We'll see if we get back long and ultimately make it to that D extension 176,937. Coming down to the 4. There's the move, right? We hit the D extension on the 4. So this retracement makes sense, right? These are the fibs running to the upside, not the harmonic fib, but just the smart fibs, right? We had a 786 retracement. Push long, got to the D extension, just shy of this monthly level, created a swing high, double top retracement, right? Fresh AB boundary, retracement. So they're the waves that we're playing, right? So looking for a low price, coming back to these levels, right? If we get here, we're like tap that 618 retracement level, right? It's right in line. Then we'll look for a reversal back to the upside. And change with the CAD or the pound, and the pound just, yeah, it's not as strong as it was, but could this just be a retracement for a continuation long? All right. We know we got some CAD strength this week, and the data this morning gave us the catalyst for this retracement to come. Okay. So I'm looking for a low price here and then see if we get an opportunity to get back long. Okay. But beautiful retracement so far. Coming down to the 1. There's that move. Whew. Strong to the downside. So we'll run the fib off the high. Boom. We're overextended. Overextended. All right. So we'll look for a swing low to form. Pullback. Potential continuation short at least to 169.236. Okay. And again, when we get there, then we'll look for an opportunity to get back long. Okay. So that is the pound CAD. Questions? No? Okay. The pound yen. It's indecisive, right? We got Bank of Japan that hasn't changed their stance, and we got a pound that got some data that's a little bit weaker, right? So, oh, it finally popped in. Beautiful. There we go. Cool. So, fresh AB boundary on the daily time frame. We got a retracement to this 179.898 level, and we're just ranging right now, trying to figure it out. Okay. If we're able to break this level, then we come down to 175, potentially that 382 at 173. Right. But if this level holds, we push to this monthly resistance level at 188.815 and that 118.127 zone on the daily. Right. And this is what I would like to see, is just a push to the upside here. Right. Bank of Japan hasn't changed its stance. So I'm still looking at things to move against the yen for now. Right. And so that will give us a catalyst to continue pushing to the upside here. Coming down to the 4. Yep. We got an AB boundary trying to get low, but haven't been able to break that level. Okay. And you see here 118 and 127 zone, we have box out there. And then this is that the extension, also 118 and 127 zone on the daily. Okay. So either we get the retracement now, come to this weekly level 50%, or we get pushed to the upside, get to these higher levels, and then get the retracement and a longer move at a later date. Right? So this level is going to be key for us to watch and see if it holds or not. Okay? On your 1, here you see the sideways push. Right? This was that original 80-20 move off those yens. Beautiful play. 618 retracement. Right? We got a break of the cloud, and then we just got range bound. Right? So that's where we sit. Right? On the 1 hour, we got a nice deep retracement. We'll see if we're able to make those moves to the upside to get to those higher levels. 80-20 on the 4, daily D extension, monthly resistance. Okay. Questions on this pound yen. All right. What I'm looking for is price to turn back over and push back long. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. This daily level to hold and price to get back long. All right. No questions? Cool. Then the pound dollar. Beautiful, beautiful. So daily, right? We just missed the 382 there. Push to the upside. We also just missed that daily D extension. All right, but we came back into this range that we have been watching, this cluster of daily resistance levels, right? And you see we're turning over, pressing down. All right, we got a previous resistance level here that we could come back and retest. We'll watch to see. All right, if we break through that, we got a previous weekly resistance here, 126. All right, so we'll see how far this retracement comes, right, and see how bullish the dollar can get. So we'll watch that from that perspective. Coming down to the 4. Bingo. No retracement here. So shallow retracement, push to that 118 level, daily resistance, boom, breakdown. All right. So we're headed to the downside. So we'll see what happens at these levels down here. Okay. But the news was a catalyst for the retracement right in the zone. All right. Coming down to the 1. Here's the cleaner 80-20 look. Right. Benny posted this in the Discord. Boom. Shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. Got range bound, and now we're falling off. All right. 382 is here on the 1 hour at 128, 327. Okay. So, right. Need a catalyst, and we got it. We're up 160 so far. Okay. Questions on the pound dollar? All right. So all these came into sweet spots for us, right? And they're moving. They're moving. Okay. So that's those sides of the pounds. Let's go over to this pound New Zealand. Have to clean it up a bit. You see here we're just range bound on the 1 hour. All right. Let's clean this up and take a look at it. All right. So from a daily time frame perspective, 618 retracement, trying to get to the D extension at 212, 369. Got some work to do though. All right. We're trapped in this range right here, literally just pressing straight sideways. Straight sideways. Right. So not a ton happening here. Okay. Not a ton happening here. Coming down to the 4. Right. You see that sideways push more clearly. And on the 4, we're also trying to get to the D extension, right? Came down to this 382 level, and then we got to push, right? So we got to break through these daily resistance levels to get to the D extension. So some work to be done, right, out of this range. So as price comes to the bottom of the range, see if we get catalyst to push us back to the upside. Okay, so not a ton happening here on the higher time frames. When you get down to, whoops, my bad. You get down to the 1, right? You got your fibs being taken out in multiple directions as we saw, right? And that's that range bound move. So those, that's not it. There's our fib to the upside, boom, right? And then we're just bouncing. So if you're looking to play the range, which I'm not, but just run your fib, right? 618 retracement matching the extension is down here at the 118 level. I'm sorry, 86 retracement. So we could see this come back down to the bottom of this range and then turn back over and push back to the top of the range. Okay. So that's it. This one is just range bound. I'm just monitoring this one right now, not playing any of these moves right now. Okay. So that's the pound New Zealand. Pound Swiss. Woo. That one fell off a cliff. Wow. Let's see. I haven't looked at this one in a minute, so we'll do some cleanup on it. Come back to the weekly. I know it looks clustered. It'll clean up in a second. So weekly levels. That's the weekly resistance. Let's take this off. That's the weekly fib there, just range bound, right? And it's ultimately coming back down to the bottom of this range at 109,962, right? That's the bottom of the range there, 382 retracement. And we'll see if we push deeper, but 2022 created this all-time low, right? We'll see what happens here at these levels. So that's it from a weekly. Coming to the daily. Now let's do this. This was a daily support level, got broken. That's no longer relevant. And we're breaking this daily support level here, coming to that weekly level. So daily fib is here. We haven't gotten a 382. We got to push into the 118 and 127 zone. Been a crazy, nasty move, but ultimately it's trying to push back down. All right, Swissy picking up that strength. So let's see. Next level is going to be here at 109,962. Okay, we'll see what happens there if we get this double bottom scenario here. Okay, but that's a strong bearish push. We'll wait on the candle to close, but that level is broken, right? We'll see if we close below it. If we do, we head there. Coming to the 4. On the 4, we got that 382 push, right? But we could be coming back to test it again. We'll see, right? But that's just a nasty range, but strong move to the downside nonetheless, right? Yeah. So coming here to the 1. So what I'm going to do, take this one out. That's choppy. So come to the 1. And what I'm going to do, I just want to see how this move off the top played out. So I'm just going to run the fibs off the low here and track them through to the high. That was in between. 50% retracement, weekly resistance, and then it turned over. Got it. So wasn't able to break out to the upside and then move to the downside. So there we sit. So on the 1, right, we're moving to the downside. If we get another push down, get to that weekly level, right, potential 80-20 opportunity here at the bottom of that range. See if we get something like that. See if we get something like that, right? There's the opportunity there, right? It's choppy from above. It's a nasty, nasty move. But as we get down to the lower time frames, we get a little bit of clarity. So we'll see if, and ultimately it's still a range play, right? Still a range play nonetheless. It's just the bottom of the range. Potentially play it back to the top of the range. Okay. So that's the pound Swiss. We'll see if we get that action there. Questions here? That one's nasty. Questions on anything that we covered this morning? Oh. Benny, got anything for us before we wrap it up, bro?
Great session as always, bro. That Swiss will probably look to stay strong. Of course, we'll get a correction, but may stay strong for a while because they're looking at the potential of raising rates again in September to try to continue to keep inflation down.
So didn't they also say something a couple weeks ago about not wanting the currency to get too strong?
No, they were saying they would step in and support against runs on the Swiss. Because they've been participating in a lot of foreign exchange selling to try to control inflation. So they're trying to bring it down. So yeah, so it's I was reading an article this morning. It's up 7.5% against the dollar this year, just on the base. They've raised about 250 basis points. Nowhere near as high as some of the other central banks, but for them that's pretty high. I mean, yeah, I mean, in June, I think it came through at like the inflation came through at like 1.7%, but they don't want a second round of effects with inflation, like kind of like what happened with Canada, where they paused rates twice and then inflation crept back up and then they went back to hiking rates. So the prediction is that they're going to raise rates again in September to prevent it. So that's what's being priced in, at least in my opinion, on the Swissy right now, which has it pretty strong. So
okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. So we'll watch it and see. We'll see what happens. That shall be interesting. See how much they price it and how far it goes.
Yeah, I think soon it'll settle down, but that's what's being priced in right now.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro.
You're welcome.
So good people, right? Another day, another opportunity, man. Another day, another opportunity. So we'll be back at it tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session with my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. You guys have a phenomenal Wednesday. We'll see you tonight. Peace.
Great session. Thank you.
Appreciate it. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.